Hey guys, Stephen Cox here, and today we're going to learn how to play Yesterday by the Beatles on the U-Bass. So if you like videos like these, please subscribe below and consider becoming a patron where you can request your own arrangement. Alright, let's jump into it. So this piece has an intro, an A melody, a B melody, and an outro. Those are the four different pieces. Now we repeat certain pieces of this to create the whole entire song, but it really just consists of those four parts. So let's learn the intro first. This intro is just one measure long. So all I'm doing here is playing the first fret on the E string once, then the third fret on the D string 3 times. So I'm playing the first fret on the E string with my thumb, and then the third fret on the D string I'm plucking with my pointer finger. 1, 3, 3, 3, then again 1, 3, 3, 3. So here's the first two measures of melody A. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to play the first fret on the E string with the 5th fret on the D string. Now this is a bit of a stretch. We're going to play these two at the same time. So I use my pointer finger for the first fret on the E string and my pinky for the 5th fret on the D string. And I pluck those two strings, my thumb and my pointer finger, at the same time. So now we're going to play the 3rd fret on the D string 2 times. And I just pluck with my pointer finger. You can use your middle finger if you want to for the second one, or you can just do pointer, pointer. Or then after that, we're going to play the 1st fret on the E string, the 3rd fret on the D string, the 1st fret on the E string, the 3rd fret on the D string, and one more time, the 1st fret on the E string, then again the 3rd fret on the D string. So then we've got the open E string, the 2nd fret on the D string, the 2nd fret on the G string, the 4th fret on the G string. Now we're going to get to one where we play 2 notes at the same time. We're going to do the 6th fret on the G string and the open A string at the same time. Then we're going to play the 7th fret on the G string, the 9th fret, and the 10th fret, both still on the G string. So let's play those two measures together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the next two measures. So we're going to play the open D string and the 9th fret on the G string. Then we're going to play the 7th fret on the G string 2 times. Then Then we're going to play the open D string, the 7th fret on the G string, the 8th fret on the E string, and the 10th fret on the D string. So we got open and 9 together, and then the rest are separate. And then for the next measure, we've got the 6th fret on the E string, the 8th fret on the D string, then the 7th fret on the G string 2 times. Then we're going to shift down. We're going to play the 3rd fret on the A string and the 5th fret on the G string together. When I play those two together, I usually use my middle finger for the 3rd fret on the A string and my pinky for the 5th fret on the G string. But you're going to play those two together. Then you're going to play the 3rd fret on the G string, then the 2nd fret on the G string, and the 5th fret on the D string. So let's play those two measures together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we just got a few measures left, about 3 measures left in the A melody. 3, 4. So first we're going to play the 1st fret on the A string and the 3rd fret on the G string together. Then we're going to play the 2nd fret on the G string 2 times. Then we're going to play the 1st fret on the E string, then the 2nd fret on the G string, back to the 1st fret on the E string, and then to the open G string. So let's do that little part together. 3, 4. Then we've got the 5th fret on the A string and the 3rd fret on the D string together. Then we've got the 2nd fret on the G string, then the open G string, then the 3rd fret on the E string, then the open G string, and the open D string. So let's do that one together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then we've got the 1st fret on the A string and the 3rd fret on the D string together. Then the 2nd fret on the G string 2 times. Then we've got the 1st fret on the E string and the 3rd fret on the D string 3 times in a row. So let's play those 3 measures together. This is measure 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's play the whole melody A together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so now it's time for melody B. This starts at measure 9. This is what the first couple measures sounds like. So first we're going to play the open E string and the 2nd fret on the G string at the same time. Then we're going to play the open E string by itself, the 2nd fret on the D string, then back to the open E string. Then we're going to play the open A string and the 2nd fret on the G string at the same time. Then the open A string by itself. Then the 2nd fret on the D string and the open A string. So that's going to sound like. So then we're going to play the open D string with the 7th fret on the G string. Then we're going to do the 8th fret on the E string with the 9th fret on the G string at the same time. If you look at what I'm doing, I'm using my middle finger for the 8th fret on the E string, and I'm using my pinky for the 9th fret on the G string. Then we got to stretch our hand a little bit. We're going to do the 6th fret on the E string and the 10th fret on the G string. Then we're going to play the open A string with the 9th fret on the G string at the same time. Then we're going to play the 7th fret on the G string by itself. So measure 10 sounds like this. So let's play measure 9 and 10 together. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now we're on to measure 11. So that was measure 11 and measure 12. So we're going to start with the 10th fret on the A string and the 9th fret on the G string. We're going to play those at the same time. I like to use my middle finger for the 10th fret on the A string and my pointer finger for the 9th fret on the G string. Then we're going to play the 7th fret on the G string. And then we're going to play the 3rd fret on the A string with the 5th fret on the G string. Then we're going to play the 7th fret on the G string. Then we're going to play the 2nd fret on the G string. And I use my middle finger for this one so I can reach up to get the 1st fret on the E string, which is the first note of measure 12. So now we're going to play the 1st fret on the E string, like I just said. Then we're going to play the 3rd fret on the D string 3 times. Then we're going to go back to the 1st fret on the E string, and then back to the 3rd fret on the D string 3 times. So let's do measures 11 and 12 together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So then we've got measures 13 and 14 that are exactly like measure 9 and 10. So we don't really need to do those, but I'll play them real quick just to remind you what they sound like. All right, so here's measure 13. So what we're going to do here is we're going to play the 10th fret on the A string with the 9th fret on the G string. Then we're going to jump down to the 7th fret on the G string. Then we're going to play the 8th fret on the E string with the 10th fret on the D string. Then we're going to play the 9th fret on the G string. So then we've got measure 16, which sounds like this. And that's going to be the 8th fret on the A string with the 10th fret on the G string. Then the 8th fret on the A string by itself. The 10th fret on the D string. Back to the 8th fret on the A string. Back to the 8th fret on the D string. Then to the 8th fret on the A string. The 7th fret on the D string. And back to the 8th fret on the A string again. So let's do measures 15 and 16 together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... Now that we've got all of that down, let's try to play melody B in its entirety. So this one's a little bit long. 3 and 4 and... After we play through melody B in its entirety, we go back to melody A, and we play just one time through instead of repeating it. Then we go back to melody B, and we play it one time through just like we did. And then we come back to melody A at the end. So this leads us all the way up to measure 38. And then in measure 39, we have an ending that's just slightly different than the two measures before it. It has a cool little chromatic line. So as bass players, we like this cool little chromatic, but it's with the same melody notes as the previous two measures. Here's measure 39 and measure 40. 3, 4. So this is the 5th fret on the A string with the 3rd fret on the D string. Then we've got the 4th fret on the A string with the 2nd fret on the G string. Then we've got the 3rd fret on the A string with the open G string. Then we've got the 2nd fret on the A string with the open D string. Then we've got the 1st fret on the A string with the 3rd fret on the D string. And last, we've got the 1st fret on the E string with the 2nd fret on the G string. And we're going to play this 2 times. So let's do measure 39 and 40 together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright guys, we made it all the way through the different parts. Once again, if you wanted to play this from beginning to end, you would do the intro, then you do melody A 2 times, then you do melody B once, then you go back to melody A 1 time, then you go back to melody B 1 time, back to melody A 1 time, and then we throw that ending on the very end. So that's it. I hope you guys have enjoyed learning this song, and if you'd like to make an arrangement request, please go to Patreon and become a patron. And if you just like videos like these and want to see more of them, just subscribe below. I'll see you next Tuesday.